Hey everybody, my name is Tigermite, and in this video, we're going to look at the 10 best Disney villains. There's no denying it. Disney has the best villains when it comes to animated movies. While it's always great to have the good guys to root for, sometimes we still want to embrace our dark sides. Whether they are comical or just plain sinister, these villains truly left an impact on me growing up. Also, please understand that this list is entirely my own personal opinion, and if you disagree, that's fine. I would love to know what your ranking would be. Also, I will not be including Pixar villains, as that is a topic for another video. Anyway, let's move on to the ranking. Here are the top 10 best Disney villains. Number 10. Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. Yzma is without a doubt the funniest Disney villain ever. Being voiced by the legendary Eartha Kitt, she truly brought the villain to life with the way she's animated, the way she talks, and the slapstick that follows her. Practically every scene she's in is just comedy gold, and I will go so far to say that she was the best character in the movie, and when she turns into a cat, I still can't help but laugh at her. Nothing ever goes Yzma's way, as she is always in a terribly hilarious situation, and when paired with the lovable Kronk, comedy is all we get from this underrated flick.
Why do we even have that lever?
Number 9. Judge Claude Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Where do I even begin with him? He murders an innocent woman, tried to drown her baby, then locks him away in a bell tower. He also has one of the best and creepiest song sequences ever put in a Disney film, where he confesses his lust for Esmeralda and that if he can't have her, the pits of hell will. Frollo did make this movie a lot more adult than most children are used to, and we just love him for that. He was born with no soul, no heart, and no regrets. It's a good thing that he met his end by falling into the place where he will burn more than the people he's killed. Number 8. Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. While demons are most often associated with head-spinning and excessive monsters, Cruella de Vil did her best impression of a hell beast while managing to appear just as fabulous as skeletal, high-power fashion editor. She isn't a calculating villain like the rest of the Disney canon, just an impulsively stylish lady who really doesn't mind skinning 101 Dalmatians just to look good. She is the definition of animal cruelty, and her theme song says it all. While other villains at least have reasons for doing the things they do, she's just sick. Thankfully in the sequel, she finally goes to a place she deserves to be, a mental institution.
Spots? I do see spots, you know. They're everywhere.
Number 7. Hades from Hercules. This calm and collected hothead is easily one of the funniest Disney villains to ever come from Disney. In a somewhat okay movie, Hades truly made the film enjoyable with every scene that he was in. Hades is the god of the underworld who comes along with his minions, Pain and Panic. He's everything that makes a Disney baddie qualify for this list. Sarcastic, hilarious, and deliciously evil. His plans to kill Hercules as a baby are foiled when the poison he'd made just turns Hercules into a mortal, and panics when our hero comes back as an adult to finish him off. Voiced by James Wood, the way he talks like a sleazy, fast-talking salesman had made him a truly memorable villain.
Nice shooting, Rex.
I can't believe this guy. I throw everything I've got at him, and it doesn't even... What are those? You've got 24 hours to get rid of this bozo.
Number 6. Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Forget the live-action remake where they made her understood. She's a villain and a mistress of evil for good reason. Maleficent has a seemingly unlimited arsenal of powers and curses Princess Aurora all because she didn't get invited to her christening. Talk about holding a grudge. She stuck with the curse and was actually successful, which caused Philip to go save her in your typical damsel in distress trope. Overall, Maleficent is charismatic and pure evil, and her dragon form is definitely intimidating. Number 5. Jafar from Aladdin.
Jafar, my most trusted advisor.
Already his dark look is a dead giveaway for earning a spot on this list. The Royal Vizier of Agrabah is an amoral psychopath. With no understanding of remorse and a penchant for pure evil, he is perhaps more consistently evil than his villainous brethren. Essentially, his entire goal is to trick Jasmine into being his slave queen, only so that he can kill her and take her throne. And yet, despite all that, there is something vaguely comical about his sense of humor and endearing flair for sarcasm, executed flawlessly with the help of his sidekick parrot Iago. He also returns in the sequel, and we finally got to see him wreak havoc as a genie, and his villain song, You're Only Second Rate, definitely outshines Prince Ali Rapaz's song in the first film. 4. Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Ursula is definitely the sassiest Disney villain ever, and that's what I love about her. Like most villains, all she wanted was power, but she looks so delightfully crazy while trying to obtain it. On top of that, she had a great design with a half-human, half-octopus thing going on. Ursula was also a perfect menace, cunning, deceitful, and of course singing one of the best Disney villain songs of all time. She's also by far the best businesswoman I've ever seen. I mean, she was being thoroughly honest with Ariel when she was singing about making a deal with her. She admitted that if she didn't pay up, she would end up as one of her victims. Of course, since she's a villain, she doesn't play fair and endlessly tries to sabotage Ariel's happy ending. Then when she finally does get the trident, she becomes monstrously massive, which made for a frightening scene, but thankfully she was defeated by the power of true love.
So much for true love!
Number 3. Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog. I really hate it when great Disney villains don't get much screen time. Dr. Facilier is one of the best Disney villains I've ever seen. He is charismatic and he looks fantastic. He is extremely manipulative to the point of telling the truth, but choosing his words very carefully, and at the end of the day, he does hold his end of the deals by giving Naveen the green, by literally turning him into a little green frog. And Friends on the Other Side is by far one of my favorite Disney villain songs of all time. It's very catchy and you truly see the villain express himself in so many ways. Of course, he also had a really dark death. Then again, he kinda had it coming. Better him than the people of New Orleans. It goes to show that you should stay away from dark magic because it always comes with a price.
This is just a minor setback in a major operation. As soon as I whip up another spell, we'll be back in business. I still got that frog and prince locked away. I just need a little more time. No, please, no. Just a little more time. I promise I'll pay you back. I promise.
Number 2. Scar from The Lion King.
Long live the king.
Scar is without a doubt one of the greatest Disney villains ever. He has the best Disney villain song where he sings about how he plans on killing his own brother and nephew just to become king. Then his plan is perfectly executed, well, halfway through. He looks into his brother's eyes just before coldly murdering him. His skills as a villain mainly come from his words rather than his actions. He knows he's weaker than Mufasa, so he has to overthrow his brother in the long con, rather than simply challenging him into a fight. There's only one problem. When he does actually become king, he becomes kinda boring. I mean, if you're going to become an evil king who has a throne, at least do it right. Sit in a corner and look evil. Overall, Scar is mostly sinister for murdering his brother, having the best song, and using his words. Of course, his words become his undoing as he meets a very brutal death by being killed by his former henchman.
Oh, my friend.
Friends? I thought he said we were the enemy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Ed?
No, let me explain. No, you don't understand. No, I didn't mean... No.
And my number 1 favorite Disney villain of all time is Captain Hook from Peter Pan. Captain Hook is without a doubt my favorite Disney villain of all time. He's heavily overshadowed by other Disney villains like Scar, Maleficent, Jafar and Hades. He only gets seen as a joke or because he becomes a big coward when he's being chased by a giant crocodile, and also often being referred to as a bumbling idiot. I see Captain Hook in a different way. He's definitely villainous, as he murdered one of his own crew just for annoying him, and wouldn't hesitate to kill children who stand in his way. But in the end, he's still just a man desperate for revenge, as he is endlessly tormented by Peter Pan, who ruined his life by cutting off his hand and feeding it to the crocodile, thus cursing his life, where he's forever stalked by the giant bloodthirsty predator. Then in Return to Neverland, he has to deal with a new predator that wants to eat him, a giant octopus. Hook can just never catch a break. Then when he's scared, it shows him having a very human side. He's vulnerable, which makes you feel sorry for the guy. Also, who can deny that he is definitely very suave, elegant, and shows that he can be a gentleman. And besides that, he is still hilarious as well. He is the most expressive Disney villain ever, and still, his antics with the crocodile are some of the best slapstick Disney has ever put out. His relationship with Mr. Smee is also one of the best villain/sidekick relationships I've seen in Disney. He treats his sidekick as more of a friend than just a minion, despite his clumsiness. Even though he can be manipulative and a double-crosser, he has his reasons for doing the terrible things he does. He's a very cunning pirate captain that is more than just a guy waving his sword. Of all villains, he feels like the most human character. He has the most understandable motive for being a villain, which really makes him one of the best villains of all time for me. Do you agree with my list? Why don't you let me know who your favorite Disney villains are? If you guys enjoyed, why not consider subscribing and you will never miss another upload. It really helps out my channel and I will do my best to bring out more content to you. Thanks for watching and I will see you all in the next video.